My daughter is the most talented contestant that Mount Rose has ever had.
It's not just about beauty.
Go Muskies! Woo!
I'd lay down 10 to 1 that it all comes down to Amber Atkins and Becky Lehman.
It's about poise.
If you could be any tree in the woods, what kind of tree would you be?
Green.
It's about tradition.
You get your ass up there and show me some teeth.
It's about winning and whatever it takes.
Are we on cops, Harold? Are we on cops? Shut up, Hank. This here's business. It's on cops.
Oh my god! My cat costume's gone! Bring it on!
From New Line Cinema.
What kind of a moron paints step ladders right before a pageant?
Kirstie Alley, Ellen Barkin, Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards.
Look at that winner. I think she's had a boob job.
Oh, come on. She's too young for a boob job.
They do that at birth now. What are you talking about?
Our pageant is not a peep show.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Suck it in, or so help me, I shoved my foot so far.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
And I'm Rhian Holmes, your Mount Rose American team princess.
Very good. You requested. Look at my dad's glasses. I'm in my dad's office, and I've only just. Oh, they don't bend. Not going to break those. My dad has a. Yeah, he has a shorter head than me.
Wow.
Do I suit glasses?
Into Tom's future. Not those, I would say. Maybe the little, the tiny little rectangle ones.
During my production of Footloose, I wore glasses as Reverend Shaw, and was allegedly quite attractive and suited glasses.
In the little dog collar.
No, I never had a dog collar. I was a reverend, and I never wore a dog collar.
What a waste.
What a waste. We just did four mockumentaries, and we were talking about what to do next. And of course, the logical continuation is to jump straight to a independent British drama about pedophilia. And so we did, and we did Notes on a Scandal. And then we talked about what to do next. And you said that Drop Dead Gorgeous has become TikTok famous.
It has. I've seen it's made the rounds kind of in little dribs and drabs. And I love, love, love Brittany Murphy.
Rest in peace, the wonderful Brittany Murphy.
So
where do you love Brittany Murphy from? You a big just married person or what?
Well, no, just everything that I've seen of her. I mean, I saw her first in Girl Interrupted.
She's wonderful in Girl Interrupted, yeah.
And then there's the one with Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, that's also big. That also keeps coming up on TikToks and things now.
Yeah. So I thought, what better way to honor both her and the series of documentaries.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the series of incredible women that are in this film. But
that's true, actually. I was not expecting such a great lineup.
Oh, including like a series of Tom all-time favorites. I mean, this has one of my biggest adult crushes. I'll call myself an adult. One of my biggest crushes, like just attraction-wise. One of my biggest, some of my biggest loves of all time supporting. I do greatly enjoy Drop Dead Gorgeous. I am amazed that in this, I don't want to be that guy. Can you even say that anymore? But I am amazed in this modern world that of all the films to become sort of TikTok. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Which clips are on TikTok?
Yeah,
You said Brittany Murphy.
They're certainly very careful about which sections have now gone viral. The one that I kept seeing was Brittany Murphy's character talking about her drag queen brother making it to
Which is great, yeah.
And then this the first sequence where they've in the pageant themselves, and they've got the big head dresses on.
Yeah,
that's great timing. So yeah, I definitely I appreciated the disclaimer from you before actually watching this film of it hasn't aged entirely well.
I don't know. I think it takes a lot for me. I'm a big fan of like contextual stuff, and just like, and I'm a big defender actually of There's Something About Mary. Have you seen There's Something About Mary?
No.
That's got W.L. Brown playing a it's never attributed, but presumably it's a sort of Down syndrome, some sort of mental handicap. And there is barely any jokes actually at Warren's expense. And for as much as this is a problematic phrase, I think W.L. Brown actually gives a really good and genuine performance without there's a couple of jokes that he loves piggyback, but that's really funny because he does on Ben Stiller's that. It's a very, very good film.
I mean, I would have to see it to.
Of course, no, of course. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. Don't worry.
Like, I want to kind of preface the whole episode by being like, we are not the authorities on what is now acceptable, based on like all of the jokes that feature in this film. Like, we have no place to say whether like it's stood the test of time or not. All I can really speak to is like what I, as a viewer, still find funny, because I think watching a lot of these sequences, it wasn't a case of, oh, are people going to be offended by that now? It's more, is that even funny anymore? And I think you made a good point about like depictions of certain characters and whether it's kind of punching up or down. And I do think that there is a fair deal of edgy comedy in Drop Dead Gorgeous that punches up, or at the very least across. But there's also a fair deal of punching down. So I think I've kind of picked and chosen.
I think there's a lot of satirical, intentional dark humor. I think the Will Sasso mentally challenged guy at the farm is just a huge miss. I just don't know. There's nothing funny there. He's doing a voice, and there's no real jokes.
It doesn't add anything.
No.
It doesn't tell us anything about the surrounding characters. Doesn't tell us anything about him.
Oh, well, one minute. Sorry. I don't want to jump on you, but the phrase, it doesn't tell us anything about the surrounding characters. We're not talking about we're not talking about a period drama here. Like, it doesn't have
I know, but
to.
I mean, I just in the sense of like there's other characters where their protected characteristics, if you will, are kind of the butt of some
I've never heard that one before.
But it's more like, for example, the
anorexic
parents trying to assimilate to American culture. It's not actually making fun of their culture. If anything, it's making fun of Americana and like, why the hell is that the aspirational thing, you know? And so that I found it a little bit easier to laugh at, whereas that like that.
No, but there is the punching down. There is the punching down of, we want to be good America, you know, like there is the language barrier jokes.
Yeah.
I also do.
At least they're both Asian actors, you know, at the very least.
I think.
Anyway, we're getting it all out of the way now.
Yeah, get it out, because
any good parts of the film.
Because I obviously love Drop Dead Gorgeous, and I have no scruples. I have no shame. Yes, I have no shame. And apart from the Will Sasso, it just doesn't. I just think there's no humor there. I think the broken language barrier with the Howards is just like, yeah, I guess. But on the polar opposite, the line, my hat represents nuclear power, and that makes me proud to be an Asian American.
Atomic power makes me proud to be Asian American.
Is one of the greatest lines ever delivered in a comedy film.
That was wild.
Did you know anything at all?
I knew it was another
mockumentary
style. And I knew it was about a beauty pageant in a small town.
Did you know, for instance, until Tracy Curry's Thresher exploded, that it was a whodunit?
No, and I genuinely, I wish this had been a commentary video and that you'd been sat next to me, because the gasp that escaped my
Yeah.
body. My dad came in thinking something was like seriously wrong, because that caught me completely by surprise.
My dad was in his office on the other side of the wall of the TV and said there was lots of screaming women in that film, wasn't there? He does this thing. He does this. Or if there's a movie with a sex scene, and he'll say, "Lots of noises in that film." It like because he's sat here, and then I'll come in and I'll say, "Are you doing a lot of work, or should I watch my film upstairs, or can I watch it on the big TV?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, you're fine," because he doesn't want to say no. And then he will be like, "What are you watching in here?" And like if there's a lot of shooting or like loud noises,
Yeah.
unless I'm watching a German film in subtitles about a depressed couple who live in their apartment and no there is no sound, then it's a bad deal.
It's gratuitous. Yeah.
Um, did you enjoy the whodunit element? I mean, it's a real. I think it
No,
really
no, I
puts it
really
over the
did.
edge.
Yeah, I really did. I thought it made for a good structure, because I think,
Mm.
I mean, we can talk at length about this compared to the Christopher Guest pieces
I
and
want
how.
to not.
Why is that?
Because I think to be as much as I love Drop Dead Gorgeous, like I think it really half-asses the mockumentary thing, and I
Well,
think it
this is what
really
I was gonna
loses its
say.
steam. It loses its steam, even though
Yeah,
it stays funny. And I think it, like the middle, once the pageant's over, as much as I love the seafood stuff and the hotel and the really gay choreographer, yeah, give it more, give it more. And he's drinking a Pepsi, and Alison Janney fucking the bartender. I love it all. But it is such a random terror. And I also think the Sarah Rose Cosmetics going bust is also a bit of a bullshitty, weird ending
I
with
do
no
think
pace.
I do think well, that's what I was gonna say about it, was
Mm.
that it kind of forgot that it was a mockumentary. Like
Yeah,
after the events of the pageant, I was half expecting, the who done it to reveal itself and then that be the end. And then I was like, oh, we've got 20 more minutes. I
it
enjoyed the content, like the events that
mm.
transpired. I thought that was very funny. But I agree, like there was something about the style kind of being lost towards the end that made me think. The Christopher Guest, I mean, obviously it's shot in an entirely, it's created in an entirely different way, and I think that is where we get
Mm.
a lot of the authenticity of the style with those.
I the what was I gonna say? The oh, it'd be like if we got 20 extra minutes after the performance of Red, White, and Blaine, or after the dog show, or after instead of just the 6 months later. Um, yeah, it's like the Modern Family problem in that, like, yeah, I love Modern Family, but it's also based around this sort of conceit of the talking heads, and then we're like just watching Claire and Phil just in their bedroom. Like it's just
Yeah,
bullshit.
it is. Yeah,
And
you
I'm
kind
not
of.
I'm not an office person, but that also has a similar thing of like we're just watching Jim and Pam on the boat, like confessing their love or whatever, and the camera's not even that far away. Like,
Yeah, it's like every 5 episodes or so they'll remember that there's a
yeah.
crew there.
Somebody once described this as the huge problem with Dexter in its later series, in that Dexter is narrated by Dexter. It's allegedly all from Dexter's point of view. And then, like, at certain points, there'll just be like a scene with his sister. You're like, okay, how does he know about this? What is
Yeah,
this? I don't know. You know me, I'm very boring with rules.
no, that makes perfect sense.
Um, Chocolate Gorgeous. So, screenwriter Lona Williams was herself a contestant in local beauty pageants and based the whole thing around that and obviously took it to a dark extreme. And she actually appears in the film as Jean, the
Jean who?
the non-speaking woman judge.
Oh my gosh. Oh, she just made me so sad.
Not working for Chandler's boss.
Yeah. Bang.
Um, Where do you want to start? I don't know what to say.
That's new.
Unnecessary.
Well, we
Let's talk.
usually
Should we
begin
talk?
with best single minute.
No, normally, well, no, it's 10 minutes stretch. But do we talk about? We haven't talked about any of the wonderful women yet, apart from Brittany Murphy.
That's true.
So we can.
Where do we want to start with them?
Let's go in ascending order. Again, where do you want to? Did you know that Amy? Did you know that this was Amy Adams' first role?
First role. Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
And she's got those wonderful teeth.
Oh. I love actresses. They play characters that smile with their entire mouth.
Mm.
I think it's a very endearing quality. She didn't really have as big a part as I had hoped.
And her jokes kind of one note.
Yeah, it's like her whole thing is she's obsessed with her boyfriend.
Yeah, and he's obsessed with her. Leslie! Leslie!
Although the moment at the end where
She becomes
he walks by and he's like, "You're getting third."
Yeah. What's so
Wow.
So, and obviously she's flustered because they've already had sex. So what's the vibe there? He's now not interested in her because she's not number one. Because obviously they split up and she becomes a stripper.
Yeah. Who knows?
Ellen Barkin as Kirsten Dunst's mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a real mood of like these are all the things that make me laugh. But I don't know if that's good podcasting.
Well, there's a whole
section. All right, okay. Well, let's do 10-minute stretch then. Let's do 10-minute stretch. Okay. The interviews. Let's talk about Kirsten Dunst. I love Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, she's great.
Have you ever watched The Beguiled?
No, I haven't.
Beguiled's wonderful. It's got Kirsten Dunst, Nicole Kidman, and Elle Fanning. So so it's a big one for Tom.
That is a big day for Tom Carruthers.
No.
Noise is coming from that room.
I love The Beguiled. Beautiful film. Sofia Coppola. Sofia Coppola. Coppola. Kirsten Dunst is wonderful. And what part of this? Where are we in her career?
I would say,
because this is obvious. I mean, obviously, she's a child in Interview with a Vampire. Have you ever watched Interview with a Vampire?
No.
It's wonderful. Love Interview with a Vampire. She's the. Oh yeah, she's the love. She's in Small Soldiers. Yeah. So this is this.
Was actually New York Stories.
You know who directed New York Stories, or at least part of it?
I don't.
Woody.
Oh. God.
So this is the same year as Virgin Suicides, which is when she makes her first film with Sofia Coppola, who will be a lifelong partner, working partner, and then Spider-Man's 2002. So and then Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man 2 2004, same year as Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Mona Lisa Smile, which is basically Dead Poets Society but for white women. And Julia.
Sorry, Dead Poets Society is for white women. It's for me specifically.
Oh yes, you do love. Yes, yeah. You were supposed to be on that episode, and then you bowed out.
Did I?
You had a scheduling conflict.
Oh well, I'm very sought after these days.
I love Kirsten Dunst, and she's so delightful and wonderful as Amber.
Yeah, she's a great ingenue, for sure.
I've got a few big questions that changes that I don't know when I should drop, but I've got a few big ones. We're now in the top 3. We're now on the Mount Rushmore. Kirsten's on the Mount Rushmore. But the top 3.
Well, Mount Rushmore is 4 people, so
a big stupid rock, and you can put 4 wonderful people on it. Oh, right, here you go. Kirsten Dunst. What order should I put them in? I'm gonna have to go Denise number 3. Denise Richards as Rebecca Lehman. Oh, lights, camera, and me without a stitch of makeup on. She is so funny and so brilliant,
Mhm.
incredibly attractive.
I think
And
it takes a lot to do that kind of forced acting thing. Like it actually takes a lot of like skill to be able to do that and to make it seem so fake.
the bit where it cuts to the Lehman's house before we meet the dad, and he's like, "Yeah, you got a tape recorder that comes out of Afghanistan," and he's talking about the globe, and
Yeah.
and Gladys is just walking down the stairs, and then it cuts to Rebecca, and she's
She
just
does the leg. Brilliant.
well, I love the Lehmans. I would very happily marry into the Lehman household.
Oh, yeah, of course you would.
Of course I
Who
would.
would you marry?
Let's talk about it now. Kirstie Alley should have been given a goddamn Academy Award. What the hell? What the hell are we doing? Not nominating Kirstie Alley.
What kind of world is this?
Yeah, close your legs, Miss Penthouse 95. You can drive a boat show through there. I adore Kirstie Alley so much. Now, Kirstie Alley probably is the only time in history where the midway through a huge show is right there. She is. She is the only person to ever pull off our big star's leaving. We're going to bring in a new love interest / new lead, and it pulled off. I mean, talk about all time women. Shelley Long's Diane Chambers is like an all timer. What? She's intelligent and she's blonde and she's smart and she's beautiful and she's.
As a kid.
Thank you for quoting my own radio play. The but Kirstie Alley, the recently deceased Kirstie Alley.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's so funny in this, and I don't know why this didn't launch. I mean, it wasn't a box office success at all, but why this didn't launch a career in more. She was always in comedy, but like in more sort of. Why didn't like all these, independent filmmakers just pick her up for one scene roles and stuff? I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, she's got such a iconic like 90s look. She kind of cornered the market for like a short time on like those like small time films. I mean, you had the Look Who's Talking franchise. That's where I first saw her.
Yes, she's one. Yes,
kind of things where like everything and nothing happens. Like
yeah. Who voices the baby in Look Who's Talking?
oh, I know this as well.
One of the biggest action stars of all time.
Is it Bruce Willis?
It is Bruce Willis, yeah.
And then Roseanne Barr is like the little sister.
Yeah. Because if that ever comes up on movie grids, John Travolta, Bruce Willis, don't immediately put in Pulp Fiction, and it'll come up and you'll be like, 65%. Oh no.
Look Who's Talking, 1989.
1918. Oh, you've got Kirstie Alley's IMDb up. I understand now. And well, I know the exact career model I want to give Kirstie Alley because it's the next person we're going to talk about. The incomparable Alison Janney as Loretta. Are we in caps again?
Oh, that was a good.
Who was your biggest surprise? Oh, they're in this.
Good question. I mean, it was probably Amy.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, but I wouldn't have guessed that it was her first.
So young. How young was Amy Adams in this film? Amy Adams? Amy Adams is currently 49 years old. So she was born in 1974. So she was 25.
Wow.
Or 24 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Denise Richards was like 30 or something. Very believably pulls off a 17-year-old. I think they all do.
Yeah, to be honest, and I mean, like, in the sense that they could be 17 in a film, you know, like
Yeah, I forget.
I'm kind of desensitized to like 30-year-old actors playing
Yeah.
teenagers, but like it could have been so much worse, you know.
Oh, it's good. Yeah. Okay, all right then. Okay. We'll get to the terrible structure I set out years ago. Best 10-minute stretch. I only actually have 2, and then I have a load of single minutes, so we might go to
Yeah, me
single minute
too.
in a minute.
Because again, it's like it's designed to be really bitty,
Hmm.
and I think it's got. I mean, it's got longer stretches than. Actually, no, maybe not.
It's about the same. It's
Yeah.
kind of made on the exact same formula.
Mhm.
It builds to
Except this is full scripted, correct?
Yes, this is a script by Lona Williams. Yeah. My first one, I mean, we could do meeting everybody and that sort of thing, but we can touch on that at any time. But my first one is that sort of the interviews when they're interviewing them for the pageantry. And you know, I mean, if you were a tree, what would you be? Green? And
I could be any kind of tree you want. Just give me a second to warm up.
Did you have an affinity to that to the actress character?
Oh, as soon as I saw her, I was like, "This is me," and I'm upset about it. I think I'll do Othello, but you know, my own spin on it.
Othello or Soylent Green. You don't know. That's another thing. What's aged the worst or whatever with this movie? Nobody knows what Soylent Green is anymore. Soylent Green was a 70s sci-fi movie where the food is people. And and so it's a really funny joke. It'd be like, well, yeah, it'd be like saying I'm either going to do Othello or
Terminator.
Aquaman,
Sure.
The Lost Kingdom. That comes out in 2 days. I'm not even going to watch it, and I watch everything.
That's true.
But the best part, what sort of tree would you be? One with long, leafy branches to provide shade to handicapped children on a warm summer's day. Now
That was funny. That was funny because it's like
you don't have to say it every time. I think it's very clear. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Are you going to say that the anorexic stuff's not funny? Because my big distinction there.
I struggled with elements of it, but I do also think that some of it was quite funny.
I think the big thing there is that it's in the text. Like that is a specific area of the pageantry world to point fun at in a dark sensibility.
Yes, like
having a Down syndrome guy run a hardware there's no like Down syndrome guy who runs a hardware store isn't
yeah, that is a legitimate aspect of, I mean, I dare say the 90s and noughties as a whole, and like diet culture and everything, and so it was almost like important to shed a light on.
Yeah.
But
she's skinny, Amber, not deaf.
it was hard. It was a tough one.
A week before my pageant, I was getting myself ready,
as well. Like
learning my routines and running 18 miles a day of 400 calories. Don't cry out loud.
Oh my god, no, because that is one of my specific favorite moments.
Can she win? I'm sorry. Can we talk about this? You can't win a pageant when people are doing real talents and you mime.
It's called lip syncing for your life, Tom.
I don't know if this is. I have, and I don't know if this has come up before. I much prefer my drag queens who actually sing. I'm the same as Alan Cumming. Alan Cumming has the exact same rule at his club, which is called Club Cumming. And he I believe, I don't know if it's a rule he sticks by still, but like I went to see a show in New York, and there was one person who didn't win, who did splits, a full routine, it was a medley, and it was like there was a mashed up version of "It's My Party," and they were like ripping up a birthday cake, and it was fabulous and it was wonderful. And they lost to somebody just stood there in a nicer dress, miming to but can I feel you like this? It's all coming back to the irony of it's all coming back to me.
What's that song?
We can put. I'll make a note. That can go in
I will
here.
make a note.
I mean, my favorite joke of all time. You know, who sang that song "Breakfast at Tiffany's"? It's Deep Blue something. It's Deep Blue something. Oh, this is going to really annoy me. Have you got your Google up? I don't have Google.
Yeah.
Who sang that song? It's Deep Blue something. Just Google who sang "Breakfast at Tiffany's" because it's Deep Blue something. It's driving me mad.
Fucking idiot.
That is the greatest joke. I did that on an ex, and she genuinely slapped my arm with a fury because we were on a walk without Wi-Fi, and then we were like, I was doing it for a 10-minute walk, and we got to the college. She checked, and she was like, "The hell was that?" Maybe it wasn't that hard. What a great! You can have that one for free.
Thank you.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to my one listener, my one listener.
Also me.
Yeah, true. I also love them rigging it so that Amber has to do all the alphabetical states, and then
Oh my god, incredible.
Arizona, Arizona, and then 8.5 minutes later, West Virginia, and she knows she's gonna do it. WESTVIRGINAE.
It's great.
Is this your first exposure to how fun the Minnesotan accent is to do? Because I don't think you've watched Fargo, have you?
I haven't. I always knew how great it was, but I'd never had the chance to enact it in all of my years of drama school.
Should the
and so
pageant play be
it's
set
really
in Minnesota?
I think so. Yeah.
Or
And
at
then
least
also, it's already a play about a show in a small town with a lot of fun women. And I want this film is what I wanted pageant play to be.
we're not going to do a 4-minute tangent about a play that nobody's ever read and that I wrote. Pageant play is one. Is pageant play the best play I've ever written? You haven't read any of my plays, have you? You've only read that one.
The Swamped Court was in
Oh,
that one.
yeah. I was angry. I had an angry flashback the other day about that, about that never being put on.
And being able to put it on.
Oh, don't get me started. That was, and do you know why? Do you know why? Because I remember the line, and you loved letting Quincy give you a good one up the backside. You little up the jacksie, you little minx, you.
Good God.
Any other note? Oh, sorry. And okay, prime example of dark humor that's funny. Love the pedophile judge.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I won an argument yesterday because I was talking to somebody about what is allowed to be joked about. And they said, well, I don't like any jokes about rape, and I don't really like any jokes about kids. And I said, okay, well, I'll avoid all of my jokes about raping kids. And they laughed. So that proved the point, didn't it?
Well, that's different because you're not actually joking about it. It's like a meta joke.
Yeah, there's
Also, yeah, I think like it was harmless because it's like you just see him like alone at a distance. He's just like this creepy dude, like
stroking the tire.
Yeah,
You've got
actually in any danger.
You've got a camera. Nobody's accusing you of anything.
Nobody's accusing you of anything. Let's get the young the contestants.
Oh, it's very good. There's so I love it, but it feels very much like imperfect cult classic. Like there's some stuff that hasn't aged well, and there's a lot I just think structurally and the half-arsing the mockumentary thing that I like doesn't get it to perfect level. Do I laugh at this as much as A Mighty Wind? Probably. Do I laugh at this as much as Best in Show? probably. Do I think? I think all of those films are better overall.
Yes, I think, and I do think like the improv element is what makes those ones work. And I think
Doesn't this just prove my
I
point
know,
about
I
you?
I know, because like, so for the folks at home, we are working on an improv feature. I was team follow a script. Tom is team improvise the whole thing. And there's certainly merit to both of them. But I think when you watch Best in Show, when you watch Mighty Wind in the lens of they are making this up as they go, nobody around them knows what is going to happen next. I think that has like an extra energy to it. But if we were to script it well,
well, that's another matter, isn't it? But then you got to get actors who can pull it off. We're going to take our first break, and then we'll be back with more talk about Drop Dead Gorgeous and more Rhian. And we're back. I got cut off when I said that Rhian was going to be skirting around more problematic topics.
probably for the best.
Probably for the best. Best 10-minute stretch. The only other one I have is obviously just the pageant itself, but that's not 10 minutes and it's extended. Let's put a pin in the pageant.
Okay.
Petula Presley put a pin in the pageant. That's the microphone. I was very confused. Some small
We're getting
boy.
used to our new home offices. Bear with us.
Oh God. Best single minutes. Or should I do specific?
Why are we acting like it's so big? Like we don't do the same thing every time.
Best single minute. Opening advert with Adam West.
Yeah, incredible. I love just like the intro shots, introducing Mount Rose as a town. Like the kids on the street and the guns and the
very 90s. What was with all the terrible 90s music?
Oh, well, we could talk about that in soundtrack corner, but I mean, I loved it.
Okay, fair enough. Meeting Rebecca, the shooting range with the handbag.
I got this on my 13th birthday.
Jesus loves winners.
Meeting. The thing is, like, it's not even parody at this point.
Oh no.
It's just authentic Americana, like the Jesus fearing.
What is different from Proud to be an American from Make America Great Again? I don't like
and all of the themes from years before.
American.
American. Buy American.
Buy American came too early in that list.
Yeah.
The pedophile at the pharmacy when he's just like, when he just keeps talking and he's like, somebody say something. Obviously meeting him
in New York.
Yeah, it's Liza. Here's Peter as Madonna.
Again, a great smiling with your whole face actress.
I also think like no jokes at the expense of Peter.
No, she's besotted with him. She loves him. Like, well, there is the joke at the very end where the dad is like, Peter would never do this, and she says, well, Peter's gay, and he's like, what? Genuinely surprised.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's why he's moved to New York, away from St. Mount.
Yeah.
It needed a. Am I completely forgetting Brittany Murphy's post like card at the end, or does it say that she moved to New York? I don't think it does, or am I just completely blanking?
No, to my memory, we don't get one of her.
Yeah, we really needed a.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Do you have any other best single minute nominations?
The parade, the crashing of the Stella Rose Cosmetics building, and then just all of like the Where Are They Nows.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it
up. Okay. Tom's Riddler's specific favorite part of the film. The AI generated voice for St. Mount, Minnesota.
Mount Rose, Minnesota.
Well, I know what some of your no bra hairy leg livers might say.
Tap dancing at the morgue. Incredible.
I'm so lucky to have a place to work, an after-school job where I can practice my talent.
A little blush brush.
Um,
All of the banners in the background,
mm,
like the advertising two things at once. Like Miss Minnesota Clown Platters 10.99. They had like a lot of those dotted around.
yes, the sight gag has been underdeveloped in recent years, and Bottoms brought it back wonderfully. Bottoms is excellent. Bottoms is great. Father Donegan in the street. Sidewalks, sidewalks, sidewalks. Glug, 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 glug. Are you an Austin Powers?
Kool-Aid for the blood of Christ.
The communal wine can be too tempting. Are you an Austin Powers person?
Do you know, I was never growing up, and I think it's probably because my parents thought he was insufferable. But I feel like it would not take me much.
So you're not? So you've never seen any Austin Powers?
I've seen like bits and bobs.
Because
But-
Iris is Frau Frabissina.
Oh, I see.
Medieval clown! Love
I
Frau
feel like it's
Frabissina.
just the right level of camp that could
Oh, it's wonderful.
beguile me.
I would, yeah.
I loved when they're talking about the Thresher accident, and they say it's just so odd and gross, but it's over the shot of the Jello salad.
Yeah, they just Tammy Curry's explosion death.
Oh
I
my
think is
god!
what a great shot, and just what a great dip over the cliff. Some really great, 3 excellent explosions. No CGI, really good. I don't know what the budget was on this.
Genuine pyro.
Yeah.
Incredible. The cops crew coming in and giving them all high fives. Being like,
Yeah.
oh hey,
Hi, Bruce.
missed you guys.
The eating disorders sign on the wing of the hospital as it's got its own wing.
Yeah, and then the cutting to the same shot later on because the burn unit is the opposite direction. Freaking out about the airport hotel at the end.
Very good. Yeah. I love. We're really busy this time of year, and they both go hunting season.
Hunting season, yeah.
Which is a really funny and then a really dark foreshadowing.
Yeah, of Brett being shot in the head. The little gag about my friend did Adam West, and then the Adam West is unavailable for comment.
He was like a really weird, creepy, horny guy. I'll be right behind you in the hearse. Don't let that worry you, Annette.
Annette's hook hand. Just use your hand. They say I have to practice.
Yeah, I gotta practice. See?
And also her ashing into the beer can when she's watching the pageant.
Can we talk about not Drop Dead Gorgeous? What is the thing of people popping their cans into the can?
Oh, the ring pull.
Yeah, what the hell is that? That is some like 1940s shit that we need to stop.
What, like before they're done drinking?
Yeah, because they're gonna lose it or whatever. I'm like, what the hell?
You don't need to lose it. You can just keep it on the can.
It's like anyway.
I only had one more. Amber getting the reporter job.
The wonderful Diane Sawyer.
Field reporter is shot down.
Straight in.
Was that actually Diane Sawyer at the end?
No, that is Kirsten Dunst as Diane Sawyer.
No, but the woman that she replaces.
No, that's some sort of
random.
That's presumably like a reference to Connie Chung or something. I've got here when Gladys walks on and everybody claps. Is that for me or the gown? Enjoy that.
And then when everyone's clapping Amber, she's like, okay.
That's, you said that with the exact same energy of that's enough kissing right now. I love I'm gonna keep calling her Frau Frabissina. A bunch of boys who called themselves Queen were atop the charts. I don't know why I enjoyed that so much.
That was great.
The year 2024. in the Soylent
Oh my
Green
God.
speech.
Yeah, that made me feel a little bit ill.
This is Nazi Germany. You know, the rumors are true. I do have a special man in my life. You're just too good to be true.
And her mum talking about how she's got the voice of an angel, even though she sang none of it.
Yeah, she's really bad.
When in your first watch, when did
Hmm.
you suspect that it was going to be about Jesus?
Very
I
early.
knew from the beginning.
Yeah. There's a very special man in my life. Yes. It's I love the blow to the deaf made her deaf. Sorry, the blow to the head made her deaf. She's really happy. We haven't even talked about
I didn't
sort of
catch that actually. I thought she was just dead.
no when they talk when they're all
She's
being
really happy.
yeah. The blow to the
I
head
owe
made her
my
deaf.
life to that dead baby. That deaf baby.
Dead baby. Dead baby. Alice, right. I'm going to save that one actually. The cowboy during the swan explosion where he's like, great show. Love that. When she's practicing and she's using the bedpan as a hat in the tap dance rehearsal in the hospital. And then yeah, and that just use your hand. This is one that goes beyond specific favorite part and goes to Oscar clip territory.
Oh wow, okay. Lay it on me.
Alison Janney's face when Amber wins second place is one of the finest performances I've ever seen. The conflation of emotions of well done, darling, and you were never gonna win.
Yeah.
It is genuinely we were talking about the other day, talking about Philip Glass's score for No Sort of Scandal. It's like, okay, Alison, so this is a light-handed comedy. And she just she does the exact same power of I, Tonya in that one moment.
That was impeccable.
Do you have any other specific favorite parts of the film?
That's all of mine. The rest of them are kind of blurring into best line.
They all blur. It's all right. They all blur. Building or set. I don't have any nominations.
The Swan.
Oh, of course. Sorry, that is very good. That is very good. The Swan ain't my daughter.
We were gonna go to state. Do you think that because obviously you've got a lot of passion, like movies like Miss Congeniality that make bigger use of the stage and the auditorium. Do you think it was a good choice to not really have that much going on as a set? Does it kind of tie into like the small town?
I think it ties into the small town thing. I think that's the whole point. Is that yeah.
It
And that
it's just a function room.
And that you don't expect anything. And so when the Velcro Jesus comes out, and when Ellen Barking, absolutely loaded on morphine, is just screaming, laughing. with the beer scalded into her hand.
Oh my God.
Soundtrack corner. I mean, obviously, Can't Take My Eyes Off You disco version. Same harp music as Rushmore, and then I looked it up, and it's got the same composer, Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo. But that's just a little note.
You might be the only person to notice that.
I think I was. I think I may very well be. Obviously, what was I going to say? Oh, Don't Cry Out Loud, Melissa Manchester. You said you had it in your single minute. Why do you talk about it?
I'd rather not.
And then can we talk about the conga routine with the wet paint on the stools?
Sure.
Obviously, that's played for comedy.
Like,
oh, go on.
Yeah, I thought it was odd the sequencing of those shots, because they mention at the beginning, before they go on stage, why would you paint stools right before a performance? And then they do the whole thing. So it felt like, I don't know, it felt like they kind of, rather than set up that moment, they kind of spoiled it. I don't know.
Yeah, and also I actually think creatively, what an ingenious design. The wet paint and then on the white shorts. I actually think
Yeah.
it's quite good.
Yeah, to be honest, like if I was watching it, I would have been like, "Oh, what an
Interesting
directorial
idea.
choice." Yeah.
And obviously, as great as Gloria Estefan's Conga is, it's got nothing on Stool Boom from Red, White, and Blade.
Exactly. Stool-related mockumentary dances.
It's a whole new.
There's a Venn diagram of a circle. Well, I do think they missed a trick not making it red paint in the crotch region. I think the blue is a little too tame.
So you wanted period jokes?
A pad.
What you wanted?
I think it would have been fine.
Do none of these girls have pads? You know. Best line. Let's shoot through some of these. I love. You think you think they'd have the parking lot of America to go with the Mall of America?
The Sin cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I've already done. She's skinny and but not deaf. But here's what. It's always so hard to see the young ones called home, especially at an exploding thresher.
She was the oldest living Lutheran, but now she's dead as a doornail.
He sells reproductions. His furniture's as fake as my orgasms.
I already said that's why we Lutherans use Kool-Aid for the blood of Christ.
I shoved your tap shoes in my panties before I was blown out of the house. You go find the guy who cut them off.
That makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, but it's funny.
She said the heavy vibrations helped her think. She only smoked after a good ride.
Oh, Loretta, never have kids. Oh, honey, God bless you for thinking I still could. I've got a few more, and they're still great. I've already mentioned, come on, lady, I could drive a boat show through there. And
Peter's gay. Yay!
Oh my God, the SWAT ate my baby. They're never gonna let you perform naked, I asked. Great.
Maybe this was your way, God, of telling us to buy
American. My mum never hid the fact that my dad chose his career over us. What was it he always said? She always said, once a carny, always a carny. And then 2, and can you believe it? They still fit. Oh, she had a big ass then. She got a big ass now.
My last one is when they take the phone call from the women's prison. And you just hear, get your sweet ass off the phone, Cinnamon. And it says that she's like a prison bitch. Great.
And then I mean, this is an Oscar clip. I chose Mount Rushmore because to live in a country where you can take an ugly old mountain and put faces on it, faces of great Americans who did so much to make our country super great. Well, that makes me, Rebecca Lehman, proud to be an American. Oh, it's wonderful stuff. And that's all I have. Do you?
Lady Liberty keeps her flame burning bright. Keeps her flame burning bright. Makes me proud to be an American.
What a beautiful story beat of her giving the tap dancing outfit.
Oh, so wonderful.
And so sweet and genuine and lovely. Very nice. Speaking of outfits, best specific Halloween costume, all the hats.
Tap costume. Oh yeah, all the
hats. Tap costume is a bit too specific. I think you could do a whole Drop Dead Gorgeous party.
Oh, that would be gregreat.
That would be
Amber's
good.
tap costume. Brett with the gunshot wound and the rouge.
And it's like, who are you dressed as? I'm dressed as the guy from the hard. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Where's Kathy and Bill? They came dressed as the Howards. They've gone home to get changed. And obviously hooked Ellen Barkin. Right. A few fun facts. What's the change? Got a couple. We've talked about how half-assed the documentary thing is.
Sure.
She found
brother and how it was just not necessary.
Yeah. Drop that one in again. She finds out about dead Brett at the morgue when she moves the sheet.
Yeah, and also has like barely no reaction.
Well, this leads into my biggest change, and it's my biggest question. Is this movie 10 times better if the twist is it was Kirsten Dunst all along?
What, killing people off so she can
Yeah.
win?
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that the twist of it being the mum was not. I kind of saw that one coming. As like the overbearing pageant mum. Maybe it could have worked if it was Kirsten's mum, Annette, and
Yeah,
like,
but,
the boy's a distraction kind of thing. We like, you need to win and
Or
get out of
Loretta.
town kind of thing.
Or
Yeah.
Loretta. I don't know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
think
I think it was just always set up to be that, and it was like
well, yeah, there's too
he
many.
has to
They
be the
also
underdog.
try and have their cake and eat it too, keeping the mystery going, because they have the
Yeah.
thing of finding the dress on like away from the exploding camper van, and they're like, and it was still in the hangar. It was just there, perfect. I'm like, okay, so this is clearly a setup of, oh, she blew up her own caravan and put the dress somewhere else, but she didn't. It was Kirstie Alley who blew up the caravan, so
Yeah. So why?
it makes no sense.
So
This is
why
my biggest
wouldn't
problem.
the dress be perfectly preserved?
It-
Unless, because I thought it might have been a gag about like the neighbor boy stealing it
then
and
put
being like, oh
then
yeah,
make
you had it.
then make that them, or maybe the pedophile judge
Yeah,
or anything. It just no.
that would have been better. Because
Yeah.
it seemed, well, I don't know, because it was that whole, you had the thing of like her insane luck.
Mm.
That was kind of the motif of like she was constantly just shy of death at every turn. So I guess it didn't have to make sense.
Mm.
But
I-
it did make that one. That was the one moment that I thought, okay, it seems like someone's orchestrated this, but it doesn't make sense who.
Yeah, and the whole putting in the 50 states questions, the light. Also, how did they rig the light? Because Gladys is in the shot, and then we also see Rebecca in the audience. I don't think Rebecca was involved. Like how it just
Yeah.
they're trying to have their
Needs a
cake and
little
eat
bit
it
of
too.
work. Mhm.
They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, and the mystery doesn't work. Obviously,
Unless
this
like
is
unless one of the stage hands was like bribed, but then that makes for an even more interesting subplot of like who is her lackey that's like
put it in
willing
the
to kill these teenage girls.
yeah. And then the swan, what happened? What was that part of it?
I think that was framed as being an accident.
It was
because
framed
Mike
as being an
was the
accident.
sparkler, but then she says that should have been you up there.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
no, if you were trying to make her win,
Yeah.
then that's a completely different story. But
Also-
the point is you were trying to
Yeah.
get her to either drop out or die. So her winning and being in the
Yeah.
swan wouldn't made no sense anyway.
Yeah. I this is what I'm talking about with it being an imperfect cult classic rather than a perfect
No, I agree.
a
Yeah.
perfect vehicle like Waiting for Guffman or
I
Best
mean,
in Show.
it's kitschy, it's camp enough that you can kind of like overlook all that.
I can look anything the
glaring
minute
mistakes.
I can overlook anything the minute that the villain is having an outrageous time. I killed them all. The minute that starts.
Ding!
Have you watched Scream 2?
Yeah.
The minute that Laurie Metcalf is doing a whole, I was Billy's mother and I killed her. The minute I'm in, I don't care. I love Scream 2. I'll forgive anything. And then Mrs. Loomis? It's like, okay, so she had plastic surgery and lost a lot of weight, and you still didn't recognize. It's not really tracking, is it, Kevin? And then
I mean, Scream is its own beast of like, it's not that plot points don't make sense, it's that it's so glaringly obvious from the jump, and no one like
they've got to do. Well, no, they're not going to do anything because of I cannot believe I lived long enough to see Scream come back and Scream be good and then Scream implode because of fight. Why did they fire Melissa Barrera? And then Jenna Ortega's following suit.
I don't know. I don't know.
Scream is the
They
one
really
franchise.
flogged that dead horse.
Scream franchise is the one that has never redone its timeline, has never, it's still good. You goddamn blew it.
That's another episode.
That's another episode. The reveal that Sarah Rose has been redundant and sold out and that sort of thing. Did that work for you?
I think it was funny in a sense, but like I enjoyed the whole trashing of the building montage.
Yeah.
But I think it just came after a long line of like, oh, it's not what it seems. Like,
and
like
also
her going to like regionals and her going to state and then everyone being better than her, but then they all get dysentery anyway. That was funny. But then again, like her going to nationals and then having another pitfall, I think you didn't really need it.
Also, it's once again feels like it's building up to Kirsten Dunst being the secret thing, like the Saltburn ending. Reveal that he was involved in everything.
Very like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory of like he's got no like renowned qualities. He just doesn't do anything and he lets everyone else be their own downfall and then he wins by default kind of thing.
Yeah, you lose.
Am I misunderstanding the moral behind Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Maybe.
A few fun facts. Kirstie Alley used Frances McDormand's performance in Fargo as her inspiration for Gladys regarding a Minnesotan dialect. The film's original ending had Gladys commit suicide in prison.
Jesus Christ.
And the sniper being the town librarian, the old lady who was the former Mount Rose teen princess, hence why she has those moments earlier in the film. Obviously, that received negative test screening. Or like, what even is that? It's right there.
They filmed that and everything.
They filmed that. It's not on the DVD, but it went to test screenings, and then it got negative results, and then they tried, and then they shot this.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But if you already had the idea of a sniper, why wouldn't your first thought be Kirstie Alley
from prison? Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, does she escape or does she finish her sentence?
It says escapes. There's that newspaper that says.
I was gonna say, it's like triple homicide or
triple. Tracy. Brett. She attempted homicide.
Attempted homicide.
2 attempted homicides. 2 real homicides. I don't know what the official term is.
Successful?
Yes, successful homicides. Can you imagine if a judge had to say that? 2 attempted homicides, 2 successful homicides. The mother's crying in the galley. She's successful. Who's like that?
The name of your next play.
Successful homicides.
Yeah.
According to director Michael Patrick Jan, who's never really gone on to anything more when it comes to film-wise, but has directed a lot of comedy TV. Kirstie Alley refused to try on many of the costumes the wardrobe department had picked for Gladys, instead asking for them to be sent to the Scientology Celebrity Center in Hollywood to try them on there. Did you remember that Kirstie Alley was a Scientologist?
Did not.
Yeah. Hence, did John get her onto it, or did she get John onto it?
Let's see.
Either way, it was look who's talking.
One of Scientology's most well-known celebrities since joining in 1979.
Kirstie Alley.
She credited its drug rehab program.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people get off drugs through religion, don't they?
Yes, but I guess so, yeah.
See, I was wrong. They are good. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and there was and Mad Men came up, and they were like, "Oh, I love Elizabeth Moss," and I was like, "Yeah, she's probably one of my favorite Scientologists." And then they were like, "Who is your favorite Scientologist?" And I said, "Well, without L. Ron Hubbard, we'd have none of it."
That will always like make me laugh. that she plays June in Handmaid's Tale about like an evangelist cult.
Offred.
Anyway.
Offred. Have you ever read the book?
I have.
What a good
It was,
book.
it was one of the first books I read this year. Getting back
Oh,
into...
have you read the Testaments yet?
I haven't. That's my next one.
Yeah. No, it's not.
I'm reading Heartburn by Nora Ephron.
Yes. Have you started it yet?
Yeah.
How is it?
Very
It's
good.
it's
very,
just the
very good.
best, isn't
And
it?
also, I have a recommendation for you, and it's almost the millennial heartburn.
That makes me. I just threw up. I just so let the record show. I just fucking threw up.
It's called Very Good, actually, by Monica Heisey. And I think you would enjoy it. I'll send you a few excerpts that I read it and I went, that's Tom.
I don't want to read. Okay. Well, my birthday's coming up, and by that I mean don't buy me that book.
No, I'm just gonna let you borrow my current copy. I'll wrap it up.
I'm currently reading a beautiful biography about the about Jackie Kennedy and her sister, so I'm okay. Tagline rundown: the battle between the good and the bad is about to get ugly. Yeah, sure. Tom's big question. It's not really a big question. Yeah, that's the only one.
You could come up with a better one. Come on. Small town.
Big murder.
Big murder. Successful homicide.
Yeah, maybe they were right. Maybe they could leave it alone. Tom's big question. Is this where they got the idea? Like Adam West? What did Adam West do after Batman other than this and Family Guy?
Good lord. Who's in The Big Bang Theory, I think.
You getting up IMDb ever since you were publicly shamed for thinking that Justin Timberlake was in Fantastic Mr. Fox is your.
I'm not reading from anything.
Okay, you remember the Big Bang Theory episode.
Yeah.
Did you break out in stress sweats when the movie grid had Justin Timberlake on it?
I did, yeah.
Did you get 9 out of 9?
I haven't done today's.
I'm in the top.
Live on the pod.
No, that's okay. We've got 5 minutes. That's about it. Do you have anything else to say about the wonderful Drop Dead Gorgeous? Is it something you're going to return to? I feel like we were incredibly positive and went for nearly 2 hours about all of the guest movies, and that's not been the case this time. And we've been a lot more negative. Do you see a rewatch of this in the future?
Honestly, I think it's a one and done for me. But I appreciated what it was going for, and I appreciated the execution of these ideas. But yeah, I think it just it was a little bit clumsy in.
I also think I don't want to be that guy. This is perfect for like a party. But if you get the wrong crowd.
Yeah, I'd be very hesitant to recommend this to someone.
Yeah, I was, when you said I want to do it, I was like, I would have never chosen this for us because
I feel so safe with you. And all 7 of the
8. No, I would have never, because I'm not saying you're a woke snowflake bitch, but like
well, I recommended it before watching it.
I know you did.
My only exposure was these kind of 1 minute clips, but I think those gags do stand the test of time, and those will always have.
I like Drop Dead Gorgeous. I think it's good. I think it's good. What's next? We don't. I mean, I gave you DVDs for Christmas. What were the DVDs I gave you for Christmas? And I said these could be the next 3 pods.
Chill.
The Big Chill's wonderful. Married to the Mob.
Married to the Mob.
It was 3 movies.
All rated 15. I remember that.
Oh, all right. that's
lots
my.
of noises, lots of.
I am. I know that there are 3 movies that I've recently bought on Blu-ray, hence the gift giving.
Hence the re-gift.
I have no idea if you'll like The Big Chill. We've already done Heartburn on the show, but I am fine to do a Heartburn redux when you finish reading Heartburn.
Okay.
I'm happy to do a mini Nora Ephron season. I can do a redux on When Harry Met Sally any day of the week.
Of course, yeah, that's her, isn't it?
You've Got Mail, which is not my favorite film. Ava is obsessed with Sleepless in Seattle and is like borderline fanatical about the fact that it's better than When Harry Met Sally, which A is fucking stupid and B is wrong.
I will never be able to think about Sleepless in Seattle without thinking of the failed Garbage Fire musical adaptation.
Oh.
One of the first things I took my new friends at uni to.
I know, I was there. And you all came back.
And we were kind of like in that phase still of like, oh, you know, these are new friends, like we don't want to be too outward with our opinions, especially if the other person liked it. But inside we were all going, that was dog shit.
You're forgetting about the biggest factor of all. It's the first thing you'd seen in 2 years because of COVID.
Exactly.
And so you were overwhelmingly thankful.
In the bright lights. So yeah, we were probably just grateful to be out in a theatre.
Jesus Christ. Did he have a really bad song which was like, every day I wake up and I breathe and then I breathe some more?
I could not have like lost the motifs and the melodies quicker. Like the minute I stepped out of the theatre, I was like, I couldn't tell you a single song lyric or anything that I've just witnessed. How forgettable it was.
I mean, Nora Ephron is for me. Yeah, I'm down. I'll do a mini Nora Ephron series. But like, Nora Ephron is to me one of my idols of all time, and I just don't know how translatable. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the lyric. What are the, if she's not doing the lyrics or what? I don't know. Mixed Nuts is not a very, very good movie, but it's her Christmas movie, and it's Steve Martin and it's Madeline Kahn and it's all these people I love. And when it's good, it's good. What a stupid thing to say. That's the worst thing I've ever said out loud.
It's good. But
when it's good, it's good.
So look forward to that 2024. Nora Ephron.
We've got, this is the thing, because originally penciled in is, quote unquote, mini series number 14.
Jesus.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's got some films like Wall Street, like The American President, like Behind the Candelabra, like Fatal Attraction, like Disclosure, like Basic Instinct. Block number 14 is titled Douglas Time! ! We're
gonna have to patent that.
What Douglas Time movies do you want? You've got 20 seconds.
I mean, I've got to do American President because it's the first film we watched together.
That is true, yes.
And I'll take Disclosure just because of the Big Mouth musical.
Oh, it's so good. I'll rewatch that episode of Big Mouth for you to watch. Oh, I love Disclosure. I know I shouldn't. But I love it.
Sign off quickly before we
I love Disclosure. What's your biggest guilty pleasure movie that you shouldn't enjoy? Go.
I was hoping to be cut off before then.
But you're not. You're still on.
Oh God. What was that?
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba